But you, speaking of the Hall of Fame, you, as you tell us every week, are a baseball Hall of Fame voter.
Hey, I told you it's my most prized possession from this business, Chris. So it's an honor. There's only 400 people in this country of 330 million who have a vote. It's sacred to me. It is. I don't have any kids. It's like one of my kids. I would never want to lose my Hall of Fame vote.
All right.
Seriously.
Well, speaking of that, you just voted and for the class of 2021. And so let us know who you voted for.
All right.
Ahead, take
Here we
it
go.
away.
Yes, because
We got any music?
The
We gotta
announcement.
have some music.
The announcement is coming, Chris, next Tuesday. It'll be official. They'll name the players that did get into the Baseball Hall of Fame. You have to get 75% of the vote.
Do you know?
No. It's not done like
you
the
won't
NFL.
know until then. Okay.
Right. There's no room and debate. Everybody has a ballot, and you get to vote for 10 players who are eligible. Okay? Here's my vote. I voted for 4 players, and I voted for Mr. Barry Bonds. As you know, Chris, I am a magic number guy. If you have 3,000 hits.
I thought you were a Magic City guy.
Magic City guy, too. Very nice. If you have 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, or 300 wins as a pitcher, you automatically get my vote. I don't need to look at your career to stay around that long to put up those numbers.
What was the guy, Rafael? The one
Palmeiro?
that denied the steroid use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rafael
Now, he
Palmeiro
had the
didn't
three-
get my vote. No, because
'cause-
he got busted after baseball put the new rules in play. Like
Okay.
Manny
Because I was
Ramirez.
going to say, he had the magic number.
He had both. He had 3,000 hits and 500 home runs.
Right.
Okay, so Bonds, all-time home run leader, period, done. Roger Clemens, 7 Cy Youngs, the most ever by any pitcher. Incredible. Best right-handed pitcher most people think we've ever seen. Sammy Sosa, over 600 home runs. He has a magic number. And Gary Sheffield, who also has a magic number, over 500 home runs. Those are the 4 people I did vote for. Some people out there might be saying, well, what about Kurt Schilling, who was close last time, Chris? He's like the Phillip Rivers to me. The Hall of very good, and I know he won the World Series with the Red Sox and with Arizona.
He was huge in that. Wasn't
But
like he
his
just
other
won it.
numbers, just to me, are Hall of very good. And that's why he didn't get in and hasn't gotten in yet. If he was really all that, with those 2 World Series, he would have been in already. So there's some questions about his regular seasons being very good, just not great, and you should be great. Out of those 4, do you have any issues? Anybody else you're looking at where you're saying, because you know where I am with Bonds and Clemens. You know I'm, and even all these guys will say, well, this is the all PED ballot, right? Gary Sheffield was suspicion of PEDs. Sammy Sosa was suspicion. None of the 4 players, Chris, that I voted for ever tested positive by baseball or was suspended by Major League Baseball. That's just a fact. That doesn't mean that I don't think that they used it. I think it was rampant in baseball during that era. I think it was the steroid era, but I don't think that that's where my job is. And here's the other problem I have. They have put in other guys, Chris, Mike Piazza, Jeff Bagwell, Pudge Rodriguez, who are all questioned about whether they use PEDs. And Jose Canseco's book, which has mostly been credible, right, said that he used to stick Pudge with the stuff. So I was in Detroit when Pudge went from losing 40 pounds in the offseason after that all came out, and he came back to spring training like this skinny. And everybody looked at him and said, what happened? He said he walked every night and ate salad for dinner. That's what he said.
Wow. Nah, I hear you on that. Well, Bonds, look, best baseball player I've ever seen. Best baseball player I've ever seen. Barry Bonds.
And this is
was
pre-steroid
right,
maybe,
now,
right?
Pre-steroids, I wouldn't have said he's the best baseball player I ever saw. But he was obviously already a Hall of Fame. You know, he was a Hall of Fame.
He won 3 MVPs in Pittsburgh.
Right. No, he was great.
No. I know what you're saying.
You wouldn't
I know
have
what
said
you're
he's
saying.
the best.
He was a great player, though.
He was a track. Right.
Right.
He was a great player,
right.
Hall of Famer, no doubt, all that. But you wouldn't have said he was the best player ever.
No, not
Right,
then.
right.
Not then.
Okay. I think he's the best player ever. Now again, a lot of controversy over the why, but like you said, he never got caught, and it was before
They
that
put the
was
rules
in the rule book. Yeah. So and again, Rob, it's amazing how people want to have this. I'm not even going to call it selective amnesia. It's just a straight out denial. But we know it, Rob. Back in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, guys were taking amphetamines.
Thank you.
They called them greenies. Those are illegal today, for baseball players.
They used to be in a bowl in the clubhouse, Chris. They used to grab them like M&Ms.
Right. So I don't know why the writers want to act like that wasn't happening. And it's documented.
Right.
It's documented. So I'm there with you on that. Obviously, Roger Clemens. Now, look, I had no question in my mind when he went to Toronto. You could see, because it looked like he was declining, remember?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he becomes better than ever.
But he was great in Boston. You got to admit that.
Yeah, no, he was
struck
great.
out 20 batters in a game.
He was similar to Bonds. He was phenomenal already. Then he looked like he was aging, right? Slowing down a bit. And then after a few years, he just took off again. And that's when I I think he probably started using. But so yeah, I got, like you said, he didn't get caught. Sammy Sosa is baffling to me because he came out with this. He contracted a disease I've just never heard of.
What?
You just forget how to speak
white
English.
Skin?
Well, that too. He two diseases, right? Lightning struck him twice. One, his skin turned white, and
he had his skin bleached. I mean,
I know. I'm just
Rob G. I want Rob G. Get on the mic. As a Hispanic male, when you see Sammy Sosa, are you baffled by that? What is that?
I am legitimately confused because and even you guys
I'm
mentioned.
not confused.
Well,
it's what he did. He bleached his skin.
But see, that's the thing.
He
I'm not
white
sure
skin.
if he even bleached it because there was a minute where he was pink, like he
Was
went
it?
from dark brown
Well, it was in
pink and then
he
light.
was in the process. You gotta trust the process.
He's like Neapolitan ice cream at this point. We've gotten all three flavors.
But I don't.
Right.
Yes, and he was
Right.
brown skinned, right, Rob G? He was.
He was closer to Rob
He was
Parker's
black.
shade
Yes.
than me.
He was a black man. I mean, seriously. I
No,
think
he
of him as
was.
black. Period.
All right,
And
but
he bleached
But my
his
thing,
skin.
Chris, he had over
But how do you
600 home runs.
How do you forget how to speak English?
No, I don't know about that. Right. When he
No,
got in
look,
trouble.
look.
Well, when he got in trouble, right.
Here's what I'll say, Rob. His numbers, and I do think maybe he, unlike Clemens and Bonds, I think Sammy was a creation of PEDs. Like, where are you at on that?
He never
Like
got.
he was, look, I get all that. He never got caught.
But Chris,
we can
600 home
No,
runs.
I give it to you.
It's not like he just barely got over 500 and needed the juice. And he was a part of that. Him and Mark McGwire, where they saved the game. Of course, a couple times his bat broke and there was some cork in it. So people are looking at that saying,
He was a serial cheater.
you know what I mean? Right. They're holding that against him. But
Well, the point I'm saying, though, Rob, is we can look at Bonds, and we don't know for sure, but we can look at Bonds and Clemens when we are fairly certain that they weren't doing PEDs. And they, as you said, they were already Hall of Famers.
okay, that's
I
fair.
can't point to Sosa like that. That's what I mean when I say creation. Now, to your point, he never got caught. It's all, I mean, it's more than speculation. It seems to be pretty certain.
And
But
that's
his
the
numbers
difference
were
between
phenomenal. He was
Right.
phenomenal.
Over
There's no
600.
doubt.
And Gary Sheffield worked out with Bonds and that was the connection that people looked
Right.
at. And Sheffield had, Chris, over 500 home runs. He was an unbelievable 292 lifetime
He was
batting
really
average.
good. He was really good.
Almost 2,700 hits, almost 1,700 RBIs, and 509 was the exact number. A 9-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger Award winner, won the batting title in 1992. He was and here's the other thing, too. I want to find the number, but, Chris, I do believe he had more walks than strikeouts. which doesn't happen for a home run hitter.
Right. Well, and the other thing is this, Rob, about him. You see it. We see it all the time.
Oh, here it is.
in
Let me. I just found it. You ready for this? For a home run hitter, Chris? Sheffield had topped 80 strikeouts only twice in a 22-year career.
Right.
Think about that. Guys strike out now 150 times.
Yep. And to your point, he had 304 more walks than strikeouts.
That's impressive.
304. And another thing is, and we see it all the time in baseball, Rob. There are a lot of guys, and I don't want to belittle it, but there's a lot of guys that are great for a season or for 4 seasons. You know what I mean? Something like that. And they fall off the map. He was great his entire career. Or, he had a long
No, I know what you mean. Right.
22
years is a long time in the big leagues.
And he wasn't great the whole 22 years, but he had he was a consistently great player.
Right.
That is tough in baseball, right? That's really what separates the stars from just the pretty good players.
No doubt about it.
A lot of guys have a nice little quick run. He had consistency at the top of the game.
And here's the best part. Batting average of 292, Chris, and 22 years. It's not like he's got 500 home runs and he's batting 240. He's almost at 300. 292.
Right. The only place I differ, I would put Schilling in. I think Kurt Schilling's a Hall of Famer. And I think, look, we know this, Rob. He kind of came, he wasn't totally in it, but, as he was really doing his thing, that's when you weren't seeing guys throw the complete games as much. You weren't seeing guys win as much back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of crossed into that part of baseball when it changed. Like, you're never going to see anything close to a 300 winner.
No, you won't see that anymore.
And he kind of fell victim of that. So that's why I think his numbers aren't quite up to snuff. But the moments he had, particularly winning that World Series.
No, he had big moments.
Yeah,
I'm not even sitting here telling you he did not.